Who is making red blood cells in your body? Who is circulating the blood in your body? Who is digesting the food? And who is doing the respiration? Now combine that with 1,000 other things that you are doing unconsciously at this very moment. Notice that these processes are so marvelous that even the best technology cannot reproduce them. And yet, how often do we trust our bodies? Notice how often we let our intellectual wisdom rule over our instinctual wisdom. In my last video, I explored just how much we have to relearn from the animals, our fellow earthlings. We try to over-control the most rudimentary of the bodily functions that need to keep running in order for us to stay alive. And so, as Alan Watts puts it, as a consequence, we are at war within ourselves. The brain desiring things which the body does not want, and the body desiring things which the brain does not allow. The brain giving directions which the body will not follow, and the body giving impulses which the brain cannot understand. And my favorite example, of course, has to do with the way we eat and sleep, as I also explored in my last video. So whether it's a kid who is still in school, or the average person working at a job from 9 to 5, or even someone who is retired. Now what's surprisingly common among all these different kinds of people is that their patterns of eating and sleeping are more or less rigid and fixed. To the degree this is true, it is both a good news and a bad news. The good news is that these people have well-defined routines or habits for these things so that they don't have to decide on them each and every day, since their bodies have more or less adapted to the routines. But the bad news has to do with the way this has happened. Notice that the body has had to adapt in these cases. But which of the following two do you think should dictate one's sleeping patterns? The body's natural circadian rhythm, or alarm clocks and arbitrary timings, with no concern for one's actual need for sleep, for instance due to fatigue. And this is where it cuts through some of our intellectual delusions with respect to how the body should operate. Quoting Alan Watts, "A clock is a convenient device for arranging to meet a friend or for helping people to do things together, although things of this kind happened long before they were invented, and they are very much out of place when we try to adapt our biological rhythms of eating, sleeping, evacuation, working, and relaxing to a uniform circular rotation." And then, giving a finishing touch, he goes on to say, "Our slavery to these mechanical drill masters has gone so far, and our culture is so involved with it, that reform is a forlorn hope. Without them, civilization would collapse entirely. A less brainy culture would learn to synchronize its body rhythms rather than its clocks." Please consider sharing the video and like and subscribe. Also, if you haven't read the book yet, please check out the link in the description.